Living Emunah by Rabbi David Asher, part 42. Everything will be clear. The Zohar 31a comments in Parashat Pinchas that whenever the Torah uses the word Veyehi, it was or there was, it alludes to some form of calamity or crisis. The Chasdei David raises the question of how this principle applies to the Pasuk in the very beginning of the Torah. Vayihi or, there was light, in Bereshit 1 and 3. What kind of calamity could possibly be referred to in the context of the creation of light? The Chasdei David answered the question in light of the Gemara comments in Nida 31 and a regarding the Pasuk Yeshaya 12 and 1. You shall say on that day, I thank you, Hashem, for having been angry with me. In the Messianic era, we will all thank Hashem for what had initially appeared as expressions of anger, for the Yisurim that he had inflicted upon us, as we will recognize that they were actually for our benefit. The Gemara gives the example of two people who were rushing to catch a boat for their respective business trips. One made it on time, but the other accidentally stepped on a nail and was unable to walk, and thus literally missed the boat. The man was upset and frustrated, and bemoaned his misfortune. Later, however, he learned that the boat sank. He thereupon turned to Hashem and thanked him with all his heart for making him step on that nail, whereby his life was saved. In the future, we will all see how every bit of Yisurim we endured during our lifetime was actually a great blessing, and we will all turn to Hashem with praise and thanksgiving. On this basis, the Chasdei David explains the Pasuk, Vayihi or, all the Vayihi. In our lives, all the misfortune and distress will in the future be transformed into or, into light. It will become perfectly clear why everything happened and why even the seemingly unfortunate events were really the very best things by far that could have happened to us. We will then be filled with joy and overflowing with gratitude to Hashem. Our challenge is to recognize the or in the Vayihi already now, in this word, before everything becomes clear. One of the greatest sources of merit that we can earn is by recognizing that everything is good even now, before we are shown that it is so. We state in the Kaddish prayer that Hashem's name is praised, which literally means beyond all the praises that can be recited in this word. However, the word la'ala can also be interpreted to mean the most, in which case this passage means that the most or greatest praise to Hashem is the praise given. In this word, when we are as yet unable to clearly see how everything Hashem does is truly good and to our benefit, the highest level of praise is that which we express when things outwardly appear bad, but we nevertheless affirm our belief that it is all good. And by expressing this praise, we earn for ourselves immense physical and spiritual rewards. The Midrash Yalkut Shmoneh remains 908 writes that if Yov had not complained about the misfortunes befell him and would have instead realized that they were actually good and to his benefit, then we would have included his name in the Amidah along with Abraham, Yitzchak and Yaakov. Meaning, instead of saying at the beginning of the Amidah prayer, Hashem of Abraham, Hashem of Yitzchak and Hashem of Yaakov, we would instead have said Hashem of Abraham, Hashem of Yitzchak, Hashem of Yaakov and Hashem of Yov. He would have been as great as our holy patriarchs, attain the same level of spiritual devotion and stature as they. This is the awesome merit of accepting Hashem's will with love. Let us therefore have faith already in this word, before everything becomes clear, And we will then enjoy the great benefits of this merit, both in this world and in the next.